First thing I wanted to ask you actually is I saw you, I don't know if you remember in Fight Week this week you took a picture with the Dutch fighter on the card, Jano Aarons. You
Yeah, yeah,
ever yeah,
I got to meet him. Yeah.
yeah. Did you speak to him at all? Because I don't know if he told you, but he's a big fan of yours.
No, no, we was just signing posters, and I was signing posters on the way out, and he asked for a pic. And I was like, yeah, of course. Cool guy. Yeah, I know. He's same weight class, right?
Yeah, same at featherweight
45.
as well. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's what he told me. He's like, oh, same weight class, but I like you a lot. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool to hear. So pretty dope.
Yeah. How is that for you? Because I can imagine at one point at the beginning of your career, you maybe had the same with all the fighters, more established fighters, where you were up and coming, to now have those roles reversed that fighters are coming up to you like, oh, you're my idol, or I admire you a lot. How is that for you?
It's amazing. It's like you said, man. I remember my first fight, and my first fight was actually in Vegas, so it was insane that a bunch of other stars around too, for the fight weekend. It was crazy, man. It was crazy to see. So it's exciting to see that when people do it to me now. So it's amazing.
Yeah. Who were the fighters you looked up to coming up? You had these moments
Oh,
with.
I liked Aldo a lot, but the first guy I got to meet that I really liked was George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva. It was their fight week, and I was kind of tripping. I was like, "What the hell?" I like these guys in front of me. You never ever think that you get to meet these guys.
No. So yeah. So how was that first time that you actually get to meet them?
Oh, it was super cool. I got to meet GSP and Anderson. Anderson didn't really talk too much English, but GSP was super nice. I got to chat to him a little bit, and yeah, he's a nice guy.
Good. So now you're here and coming up a big win and against Arnold Allen. What did that win do for you? I mean, you're coming in. I remember you telling me you want to prove that you're still one of the best in the world, and you're still going to want to go for the title run. And you proved it in that fight. I think you look like vintage Max Holloway again. So coming out of that fight, what did you take from it, and what was the mindset after that?
I mean, that mindset is what I just told you. What you just said. I just remind people are still here. You're only as good as your last fight. And my last fight before that one wasn't too good. So, I'm glad I got to get this one out the way. Same thing going on with Korean Zombie right now. A lot of guys counting him out because you're only as good as your last fight. His last fight wasn't too good either. But, I'm looking forward to the best Korean Zombie come Saturday night. But the goal in my mind is to be undeniable. Undeniable, man. Go out there, make a statement, and move on to the next one.
Yeah. The backstory is different though, because in the last fight, Arnold Allen is one of these up and coming contenders. People predicting him to go all the way to the top. So you had to shut him down, and you did. While Korean Zombie is, I don't know if it's his last fight, but he's more towards the end of the line to the beginning of the line, right? It's a different perspective.
Mm,
So how is that for
mm,
you?
mm. Man, I like you said, he might be talking about this might be his last fight. I believe he had a year and like 4 months off. I believe we're gonna see the best Korean zombie there is. A healthy Korean zombie. He had a year and 4 months off, man. He got to get all his orders of fair. Probably all his nagging injuries. He got to finally go and treat them. Whatever else was on his mind, he got to go and focus on and get out the way. He knew what it is at the championship level of championship fights. He fought a bunch of five rounders too. So I look forward to the challenge. I think we're gonna see the best Korean zombie there is come Saturday night, and that's what excites me.
Yeah, it's a great fight for the fans, right? Because two fan favorites. You're a massive fan favorite, so is Korean Zombie. Kind of surprised that this fight never happened sooner down the line, right? Was there ever talks of it before?
I mean, you and me. I mean, I'm kind of surprised it took forever. I fought a who's who, all these legends. He's one of the guys that I used to watch coming up. I got to fight all the Showtime, all the WEC guys, Ricardo Lamas, Cub. The list goes on who I fought from WEC, and Korean Zombie was always one of them. You know what I mean? He's always one of them, and I finally get the chance now. So better late than never.
Yeah. Is it this is your opponent, obviously, but is it somebody that you do admire watching him fight?
Oh, for sure, 100%, man. This guy's a legend. And everybody should be giving his flowers when he's still here. Don't give him his flowers when he's gone. Give him his flowers when he's still here. It's an honor to share the octagon with this man, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, he asked for this fight. Yeah? He called you out, right? So how did this fight come to fruition? He called you out and you reacted to it, or did the UFC approach you about it?
He called me out. He's been calling me out for a long time now. So at the end of the day, why not? I wanted this fight forever too, and it just lined up now. We're here in Asia, and we get to get it done.
Yeah, yeah. So you're not exactly in the lines then, but a little bit. Right? Singapore, it's more of his turf than it is your turf. Considering this will be his last fight, I think he said some things about that he wants to have a good goodbye against you, against a well-known fighter, a good reputation in front of his own crowd. And obviously, you're not here to partake in that. You're here to make a victory and make your own statement. So maybe be a little bit of a party pooper. Any mixed emotions on that?
We see what happens. We see what happens, man. I'm just excited for an exciting fight. Name the last time that Korean Zombie was ever in a boring fight, or I wasn't ever in a boring fight. So at the end of the day, the fans win no matter what. I think Korean Zombie wins no matter what at the end of the day with legacy and history wise for everything he did in the sport. Saturday night, I just gotta go out there. Like I said, only thing on my mind is be undeniable, make a statement, and keep it going. I want to get back to the title. I want to get back to the title and then defend the title. So, just keep going, keep working, keep climbing the ladder.
Yeah. If you beat Korean Zombie, how close do you think you are to getting your next title shot?
I'm the number one contender for a reason, man. I'm not like if you look at the rankings, I'm not a guy who's just sitting on the number one contender, haven't fought for a year, 8 year half, 8 months, whatever it is. It's kind of ridiculous. People sitting on their number like that, and we see what happens. I fought, like I said, I fought a contender in our island, the last one. We got this TKZ fight. We see what happens. I know there are a lot of people talking about another guy that might be getting a title shot, which I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's just kind of confusing to me, just because he beat the guy that just lost to the guy that the champ just beat. So we see what happens.
Yeah, but because the narrative kind of like is that Volkanov's going to fight Topuria next, right? That he's now the fresh new contender, and that since you fought him 3 times already, that you might not be the one to get the next shot against Volkanovski. So, is there anything in your mind you're hoping, oh, let Topuria beat Volkanovski, so then I can be a fresh face for him?
Never, never, never. I I want to fight the best. I want to fight the best. I'm not cheering for anybody to be anybody. If anything, I want to beat Volk. Volk right now is the number one pound fighter in the world. I would love to run that fight back, and we'll see what happens. But first things first is TKZ, man. I can't look at it. Like I said, I'm getting ready for the most dangerous Korean Zombie that the world ever seen. So I get ready to go out there, be undeniable, make a statement against Zombie, and then we'll go from there.
Also, can't wait. One last thing, I'm not sure if you want to talk about it, but you being a Hawaii native, obviously the big disaster what happened on Hawaii. I don't know if it affected you personally at all, but yeah, it's terrible. So I want to know your feelings about that, and if it's on your mind at all going into this fight, and how that influenced you.
For sure. I mean, every time I go into a fight, I bring Hawaii on my back. But everything going on with Lahaina, Maui, it's heavier, man. It's heavier. I don't know what to say. We had my wife has friends that was affected over there. My striking coach over here has family that was affected over there, and it's just sad, man. The Lahaina, the people of Maui and Lahaina, it's just the only way to put it. They was let down. They was let down by the state. They was let down by the government. But the warriors were warriors. The Hawaii people came together. The Hawaii community came together, and then that forced the world to come together. There's this thing called mana, spiritual power that us Polynesians say, and it's surging. It is surging to the islands right now. I can feel it here right now. The people who's directly impacted by the fires is heroes, man. They keep pushing. That's why the guys who got out, they keep pushing. And then some real true heroes is people on the island that stopped what they doing, dropped everything to go help these guys, you know? So at the end of the day, what's going on in Maui right now is super just terrible, man. I don't know
Mm.
what else words to say. Just terrible is the only thing that comes to my mind. But the white people, the white community really came together and it showed, you know, and if you want to help, you know, if you got an IG, you want to help people who's directly impacted from the fires that lost everything. Uh, the is at Lahaina _ Ohana _ Venmo. And you know, you know, even if you can't donate, if you can just share it, that'd be great. If you want to do like big foundations, well-known foundations, you feel more comfortable donating that way. I always worked with Hawaii Food Bank on Oahu. There's one called Maui Food Bank,
Mm-hmm.
Maui Food Bank Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's also a Hawaii Community Foundation. That's an also good foundation to go donate. And please go look up, go search if it's donating money, and if you're gonna donate items, please look at the items that they're asking for right now, because they got so many donations that they're actually asking for certain things now because they got too much of some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you can't donate, just share. You know, you don't know who might see your share, and those guys might donate for 10 people, for 20 people, you know. So yeah, man. Well, what's going on in Lahaina, Maui? Those guys is heroes, man. You know, and if I can do my part by going out there and fighting and just taking their minds off of it for even a split second, just a split second, just be a little light for a split second, take their mind off of what's going on, then I did my job, you know. So that's what it is. I carry this with a heavy heart, and the white people always been a part of me, always will, and the warrior spirit is alive and thriving down there. And these guys is some real life heroes.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Champo. We'll definitely put that out there. We'll look those foundations and those GoFundMe's you just pointed out. We'll put them out there, and I'm sure they will be supporting you, and I'm sure you will inspire you even more to have a great performance on Saturday and do it with the spirit of Hawaii.
Thank you, Dennis. You have a good one.